that weekend. It's the Vikings and the Bears, and it kicks off next.
It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
Let's face it doesn't matter if you're a rookie free agent or a 15-year vet. Guiding a team to victory on the road in the playoffs, that's no small feat. And it's going to be really important for him to play mistake-free football. But equally important, create some big plays as well to give his team confidence that they can win.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Baker going to throw this right away. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get it back at his own 3-yard line. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, but those yard markers a ways away here. 3rd down coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is fielded at the 27. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return, and the Bears take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And he comes into these playoffs bringing a team that's been battle-tested, won the division, and earned the home playoff game here in round 1. But every year they know that a division champ, it feels like, gets beat. They don't want to be that team. They have to avoid the overconfidence and make sure they play the same way they played during the regular season, mistake-free and with passion.
Tackle there by Lewis Seen.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down. Fields. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before it crosses over out of bounds. They'll get 34 yards there.
I guess we got a good idea about what the game plan is for attacking this secondary. No beating around the bush with this crew. His first throw of the game is a deep shot, and it connects. That's a tendency breaker right there, because normally you build up to the big shot, but not in this case.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Good running right there, and this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Dobbins going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from a yard out. And the Bears will strike first here in this wild card matchup. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And one thing we haven't pointed out yet, probably should, you got a dome team on the road, January, cold weather. How tough is that, or is that something that really shouldn't come into play?
Well, it shouldn't come into play, but let's face it, if you've been a dome team all year and used to a controlled environment, you need to get yourself outside a little bit for practice during the week, and that's what most of these teams do, because just because they play in a dome doesn't mean they don't have bad weather outside to work in, so they can do that, get their guys acclimated, and then that way, it takes it all the way when you get the game day in a foreign place.
2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there's no space available, and incompletion as a result.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Mayfield now. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And when this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. Gets around him. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10, just missed that one.
They set up the screen for Dobbins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings will take over here just shy of the 30. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. What is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know, they're going to want to try to get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
Monday.
3rd and 2, Fields. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's Fields. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Here we go. Go.
On play action, Fields. He hits Mooney going across the middle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his one-on-two matchup.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Fields going to change things up here. Here's Fields. He'll buy some time right. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. A give. Dobbins trying the right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Touchdown. Here's the punter, Trenton Gill, to kick it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. First down throw from Mayfield. Incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there forcing the completion.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Mayfield looks to throw. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts. right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he'll go right back to Allen. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the side.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown, but incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Off play action, Fields.
And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports.
Well, look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the 3rd quarter.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. One of these 2 teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now the Bears offense set to go to begin the 3rd quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But they run it more effectively. They may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
56 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. A play fake, now Fields to throw. That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Fields.
Sliding out of the pocket. His throw incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Fields on third down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Hey, going out for here. Go.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
J.K. Dobbins
Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And the Bears continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0.
After the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Mayfield on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It'll be a gain of 5. And it's second down.
A nice grab there for a guy coming off a terrific season, one that saw him have over 100 catches.
And when you have that many catches, that means you're a full part of the offense. And let's face it, he's been as good as anyone in the NFL this year. So it figures he's going to play a big role in whether his team can advance in the playoffs.
What's that? Scott?
That will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
When teams have a tough time running the ball, as this one has throughout this game, it's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
King. What's that?
Mayfield to throw it.
Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On third down, Elliott. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the markers. They'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Now 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Fields.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
The Bears on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
To throw is Fields. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he will have the Bears first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Dobbins running out of the gun.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
85 yards rushing for him now, as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the 2nd round.
Here we go. Good.
A shotgun snap. Fields.
It's caught. Here's Langford. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
That is caught. And he will have the Bears first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Now that's a big pickup right there. And so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking out play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively.
Here we go, Scott.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pick. It's on first down.
Here we go.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
11. All right.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the counter now, it's Dobbins.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17.
On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins.
And he'll take this one down near the 15.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They'll try the draw here with Dobbins.
And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
And the Bears will fight on another week as we set